But I like it when we always grew up.
Yeah.
And they always did.
All right, let's call this meeting to order. This is the meeting of the board of directors for Copley Memorial Medical Center. First item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance, the Texas Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Now, if you would bow with me for a prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before your throne, as always, thanking you for all your blessings. We particularly thank you for this hospital, Father, this medical center that we have, this group of medical professionals that dedicate their lives to taking care of others here in this county. We pray, Father, that as we meet tonight, that we will make wise choices to continue to improve that quality of care for this county. Father, we also come before you now asking you to be with our brother Bob Gillespie as he goes through this surgery. Please be with him, keep him strong, grant the surgeons the ability to take good care of him, and please bring him back to a full measure of health and back to us. It's in your son's name we pray.
Amen.
All right. Next up is the roll call. The board. Marcelo Lejas is absent. Nikki Anasek. Present. John Finley.
Present.
Steve Brandon. Present. Larry Richardson. Present. Justin Cook.
Present.
Bon Reed.
Present.
Tom Miller is present. And Allison Lamb.
Present.
All right. We have a quorum. Next up, we need to please take a look at the minutes from the April 20th, 2023 board meeting attached to your agenda. And we'll review those and get approval or comments on those. motion by Larry Richardson. Do I have a second? Second. Second by Don Finley. All in favor? Motion carries. Citizens input. We do not have any citizens input this evening. Next, we'll move to item 6, review, consider, and take action regarding board of director items. The first item this evening is election of officers. On an annual basis, we elect the officers, which is the, here it says chair, vice chair, and secretary. I've also heard it referred to as president, vice president, and secretary. I'm not sure which is
the chair.
correct. But in any event, I am currently the chairman. Allison Lambert is the vice chairman, and Marcelo Lejas is the secretary.
Check that. President, vice president, and secretary.
Okay, president, vice president, and secretary. Okay.
I did that. Done real fast. I'll get a change.
No, it's good.
All right, throw this whole thing away.
It's only a name.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So,
Pays the same whether we chair.
yeah,
Big fat.
I will tell you, I don't honestly know how long I've been president of the board. I don't know if it's been 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. I haven't split. And I will tell you, I enjoy doing this. I will tell you, I will continue to do it if you wish. I will also step aside and allow and have someone else to do it if you wish. No, I have no ego surrounding this. I like to serve on the board. So, you know, if you guys decide you want to hear somebody else talk during this meeting instead of me, I'm okay with that. If you want me to keep doing it, I'm okay with that. If y'all want me to step out of the room so you can talk bad about me, I'm okay with that.
We do that anyway.
We do that anyway. I know, that's true. Y'all always say it to my face. So, the you know, it's really going to be up to somebody to make a motion at this point as to what we want to do. Typically, we follow in line. And you know, so typically, if I was not going to be the chair anymore, it would be Allison. That's not required either. You can put up a whole new slate if you want to revolt. And, I mean, we've had some revolting boards. But you know, anyway.
This is a pretty cohesive group of people.
So, you know, I would, and like I say, if y'all want to discuss it with me not here, then I will step out.
Would y'all like us to leave?
I'll stay.
Okay.
We don't mind talking about it.
Okay.
How do we go about saying we want you to stay?
Motion.
You make a motion.
I make
Before you say that, my only comment would be, you earn the right to
Oh, I know.
step forward.
Yeah.
Do you want to do
No,
that?
he's happy and I'm happy. The only thing is, before we do this, I would like to give Marcelo an opportunity to tell us if he would like to stay in this position. So, I don't know where he is.
He's in a class.
Okay, so he can't answer for that.
He's in a
So-
class till 7.
Well,
So
what
I'd like to,
we could do is elect him,
yeah,
and
that's what I was
then he
gonna
can
say,
resign.
yeah.
If he doesn't want to do
I
it.
think we're-
Unless somebody else, you
Or
know,
elect
has an
somebody else.
idea, but I would like to give him the opportunity
Yeah.
to decide, yeah. That's my.
The only thing that we don't have with him not being here is that if he had an idea that he wanted to see change
Oh, that's true.
in officers, but he's not here.
He's not here
so
now.
Unfortunately, so all we can truly do
Can we elect that
is make a
position next
decision,
time?
and if,
The bylaws say annual.
We have to do
no,
it.
but I mean, if he decides he no longer wants to be
I don't
secretary,
think
he
he's
can
gonna have any
step down.
qualm.
Yeah, but if he steps down, there's no requirement that. no,
Yeah,
you
we
have to-
can
you know,
fill,
If
we
he
can
says,
fill it.
I don't
Yeah.
want to do it, then next month we have to elect somebody else.
Yeah, so we can do that. So, you know, I would
But I
say,
think-
it's, you know, Alice and I have talked about it before, and I've told her, I'm ready to, whenever you're ready to move up, I'm ready to move down.
And I don't have a problem, but I'm happy in my position that I do, and the amount of involvement that I get to have is, I like, and I don't know how Marcelo and you feel about yours, but I'm happy with mine.
Well, and, you know, I would tell you that the president of the board, you know, I have one vote. I have the same amount of votes as each one of you have. I don't have any power that you don't have. My job is to run this meeting. Now, as the president, I do speak with Endeavor more often, you know, than, I mean, I never used to speak with Endeavor before, really in between meetings, but, you know, we do have conversations, so, and I kind of, they ask me sometimes for my opinion, but my opinion is not direction, it's just my opinion. Direction comes from all of us, and, you know, believe me, I know that well, and would never want to try and, you know, usurp the authority of this board. I am a single vote. My thing, I run the meeting. That's primarily what I do. That's the main difference between me and you. I may know the agenda of the meeting before you do.
So,
But anyway,
Except this time, sorry.
so I make a motion,
Yeah, except
I make
today.
a motion to nominate or to
just, you can say retain.
retain Tom Miller as
Chairman.
President.
chairman.
President.
President, okay, well, president of.
Top guy, or whatever.
President of the Connolly Executive Board Committee.
Do you want to nominate the other two as well? Or-
And
Before you complete, is there anyone else that would like to consider this, maybe not now, but maybe sometime in the future?
15, 20 years maybe.
And I will tell you, what we'll try to do, make sure next year, is that everybody knows this is coming. I didn't know this was coming until I got here tonight.
I didn't either.
My fault.
The newbie didn't
Well,
know.
we've been sitting in this chair for less than an hour and already messed up.
All right, we'll put that on next month's agenda.
That's okay, and I also would like to
Carl's performance.
retain
Just
Allison
kidding.
as vice president. And I would also like to retain Marcelo as secretary of the board of directors. Connolly Memorial Medical Center.
All right,
I second it.
we have a motion and a second to retain the current slate of officers. Is there any discussion that anyone wants to have about this? Speak now.
I have a positive thing, because I've been on several boards, and it's a very congenial board, and it's because of our leadership.
That's a fact.
And I want to compliment, this board.
Well, I thank you on behalf of the leadership for your compliment. I can tell you that it has a lot to do with the rest of the board, though, because we have had times of
Dissent,
dissent.
yeah.
And dissent is okay.
But not
But
that kind
not-
of dissent.
yeah. I mean,
Intent.
Intent,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we should be perfectly willing to have dissent about the business of the hospital. I mean, that's what we're here for. We are here to talk and discuss and argue if need be. And when we leave, we come up with a decision and we move forward.
And I put a lot of credit on Endeavor for that, just because y'all make it very easy for us to do a good job as a board.
Yes.
And we really appreciate that.
Well, the dissent for the common good is
It's
positive.
exactly,
We've got a lot of the other stuff in years past, and
just personal agendas.
Yeah.
and this has been an exceptional board
You
for
can do all this.
the common good.
Yeah, that's actually the exact thing I'm looking for. Personal agendas should not be here. Ideas about what you feel like where the hospital should be going, what we should do, what we should be doing is not a personal agenda.
No.
It is, you know, we're looking to always try to improve the health care that this hospital offers to our community.
Exactly.
Anyway, thank you for that comment. I appreciate it. I do have a motion by Don Finley, a second by Bonner Reed to retain the current slate of officers. All in favor? Motion carries. Stuck for another year. Okay.
We'll make a comment or a note that next year is an election year, so we will have that to deal with in the spring, and then, in May, the new board members or the re-up of the current board members will occur.
But those up for election next year are,
Marcelo, Nick, Don, Steve, and Larry are that large. So it's
You
the
will
five.
you will have to get your signatures from your peers, regardless whether you have.
We'll
it or
start
not.
working on that, we'll
Yeah.
make a note.
Yeah.
December
Just get ready,
timeframe.
you need 25 people. Huh?
So work on
Seems
your,
like I just did.
I know.
You sign mine.
I think I just did it last.
work on your campaign slogan, get your posters done.
Yeah.
Get ready.
we have not had anybody file to,
Me,
huh?
somebody was gonna run against me.
So they did.
Mm-mm. They're scared.
Yep.
They have the right to be scared.
So, I mean, it's, you know,
Straight razor.
we're not the highest profile board in the county. There's a lot of other people that gain a lot more attention than we do for certain things. But anyway.
So we'll get y'all
Thank
ready
you
for
for
that.
your confidence.
The election is when?
Be April or May.
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 We gotta start doing this like in February.
Get filed by February, mid-February, so have your signatures and all that. But we will be warming you up in December, getting you scheduled.
Okay. Other business that has to do with this particular time of year has to do with committees. For all practical purposes, there are appointments to board committees that as president, that I would make. The committees are voluntary. The first one we want to look at is the bylaws and personnel committee. You want to kind of clarify what that is this year?
So it meets at least every other year. Ours, we want to meet every year. They're responsible for reviewing the hospital bylaws, which I believe Bob has that scheduled for this year coming up, this board.
We had it scheduled, but we had to.
We changed it, right?
Yeah.
But we met last year.
Yes, we did meet last year.
We did do some changes
Yeah,
last year.
to the bylaws?
Mhm.
Okay. And then personnel policy review and personnel manual review is an annual thing. So even though you're only required to meet every other year, we like having them all. And then we need to run our benefits through that committee each March timeframe. So that's the main purpose of those two, or that committee.
Current members of that committee are Allison, Justin, Larry, and Don. Do any of you wish to drop off of that committee?
And this is in your packet, Kimberly, put the breakdown.
Is there anyone not on that committee that is interested in joining that committee? Nobody's waving their arms. Okay, so that committee will remain the same. Next up is Finance Committee. Kind of the official members of the Finance Committee are Marcelo Lejas as Secretary, he's the chairman, Allison, myself, Larry, and Justin. All of you, have been coming. But that's kind of the official Finance
Yeah.
Committee. If there's anybody,
Well, we encourage everybody to come to
Yeah.
that. It's just, that's just for formalities.
well, and I think it's good, because that's the meeting where we can talk in depth about finances, and then we don't have to repeat it in depth in the main meeting, which we used to have to repeat it in depth in the main meeting.
One question. If we don't have a quorum with the committee members, can other board members make up? They cannot.
It's the bylaws say it's got to be 3 of those 5.
Which I don't think we've ever had an issue.
Was there a problem?
Yeah.
And
And it says at least 5, so you can put more, but that means the quorum.
Yeah.
Quorum grows.
That gets bigger, so that's why we kept it, right? That's how it's.
So, I mean, if anybody would like to be added as a,
Adding 1 might be good. It's
Official.
3, it's 3 either way, so that gives 1 more person.
You guys flip a coin. So you get-
anybody want to be added as an official Finance Committee member?
Nick, you want to?
I'll take it.
Okay, good. You'll
What?
be
I'm here
good.
anyways.
You talk
Yeah,
so
you're
much in
here.
the
I know.
meetings, so.
It's pretty
We
vocal.
just have to hush them down.
All right,
Thanks,
so
Paul.
Nick Harrison will be added as a member of the Finance Committee. All right. Joint Conference Committee, I don't know, we need to really talk about that one because that one is specific.
By position, yes, sir.
Yeah, by position, and just so they all know, that's myself and Allison, and the Chief of Staff, Chief Medical Director, the CEO and the CNO, and we have not been real active with that. I think we really need to pick that back up.
Yeah, agreed.
As we get into
Because
this
both
year.
of those gentlemen are no longer with us.
Yeah.
I'll make note of that. They've been replaced.
Chief
Or
of staff
Faulkner.
here, right now it's Dr. Dunn.
Yeah. Don.
Well, mine
Was
has
those
been
done?
changed.
And I-
Oh, mine.
Mine, yours
Hey,
isn't
oh.
changed.
Ours is.
Ours is right.
Yeah, ours is-
is
I
correct.
was like, where are those?
It's got Dunn and Nyack on there.
Yeah, it was Faulkner.
They
and
changed
Faulkner.
it, yeah.
Okay.
We're good.
You have the-
I copied off the.
Okay.
Our copy.
All right, so next up is in long-range planning, and Larry is the committee chairman there, and basically it's got all of us, I think, listed on here, except for Bonnie.
No, she's on here.
Oh, she is on there, all of us.
Steve and Bonnie's on there, they're on there.
Y'all know that committee does our annual long-range, we call it strategic plan. We do the 3-year capital budget, and then they're charged with evaluating new services and those kind of things. Y'all been to the committees, that you're doing a great job of that.
So that, I mean, we're all on that, so,
Mhm.
unless anybody wants to drop off of that committee, but, that one's one where I think it's important that all of the board members do that. All right. So that takes care of that. So next up, we're gonna move to item 7, review, consider, and take action regarding the following finance committee items. First item was the April summary and financial analysis. All of us were here for that, so what was the recommendation of the finance committee?
The finance committee recommended the approval of the April summary and financial analysis to the full board meeting.
Do you so move?
And I've signed.
I have a motion by Allison Lambert to approve the April summary and financial analysis. Do I have a second? Second by Nick Janusik. All in favor?
Here's Nick.
Oh, you feel that power.
Didn't take him long, did it?
I created a monster.
Next up was the capital expenditures for the DCI construction. It was $40,000 for renovation of 495 Suite 3. What was the recommendation of the finance committee?
The finance committee recommends the capital expenditures and service agreements and lease agreements for DCI construction, 495 renovation suite number 3. And I second.
And I second
Motion by Allison Lambert, second by Donna Reed to approve that DCI construction capital expenditure. All in favor? Motion carries.
Where are we on our EMT?
He countered, so Dr. Barami, and with a reasonable counter. And so Bob, prior to his leaving, sent back, there was one thing we didn't agree to, or he didn't, Bob didn't want to agree to, and so the ball's in his court. So should he contact, in this interim time, I can address it. He got me up to speed on kind of how it's gone so far.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
Yes, well, Bob still says it's 50-50. He's not sure if he's working us, to get a better deal somewhere else, or if he's really serious. But he did come down, brought his significant other down, so he's doing more than just
it.
kicking
Where
tires.
is he from?
He's from the Midwest.
Yeah, it's kind of always a deal of, do people want to practice in a small town or not?
Yeah.
Do people, want to go to the opera or something, or the ballet, or we have San Antonio.
Hey, it's only 30 minutes away.
I know, but, there's some that think that,
This is still a Podunk town.
somewhere big is really great and somewhere small is not.
Y'all have more to add? His business went well?
His business went well. Like I said, he brought significant other.
2 weeks ago?
They went into San Antonio, did the Pearl and some things. I want to say, I think he's from Philly, so it would be a decent change of scenery.
Or
But he
you're
was
kidding.
wanting, he has family in Arlington,
Yes.
Dallas.
We talked about it.
He wants to be, seems to sound like he wanted to be in Texas, to be closer to home.
I just need to remind him that when you hear gunshots around here, that's usually Dove's. Or deer season. But anyway, so good. So next up, item 8, monthly court annual board reports. We will now hear from Brandon McDowell on the annual emergency disaster plan. Brandon?
Did we vote on that?
Huh?
Did we vote on that?
Yes, we
Yes.
did.
Okay.
On it and.
Okay.
So presenting the emergency management plan, few updates from last year. We've updated the employee roster, the medical staff roster. We had a few employee medical staff turnover, and also went in and updated emergency support numbers. So the emergency plan consists of how our triage goes, the contaminated patients, where we from rally point to general coordination of decon, triage, facility lockdown, and active shooter response, and hospital operations center. So all that is contained in here. We're setting up the committee again to do our summer and fall mock drills. So that's coming up here through our planning process, but this is the updated emergency plan. Same as last year, other than just updating contact, new employees, and emergency support numbers.
Is that also with school and the county?
Correct. So
It's
all emergency first contact for county support, churches, schools, STRAC, inside our region and outside of our region, facility contact information.
When we look at emergency, is that, obviously something like active shooter, but does that also include weather, things like
We-
that?
We rank our risks, given our location. We're not at risk for earthquake, as an example. So we rank them for, flooding and hurricane, that kind of thing. And then we assess our actions based on that.
So STRAC, along with us, they provide a risk assessment tool that we all in the region provide together. Some of us different specialties have, we have a couple of oxygen tanks on site, so they're more than usual. Now the Matheson tank got taken away recently. That's a potential with vehicles hitting an oxygen tank, and that's potentially a explosion of some sort. Our MRI chiller has also a runoff, so we all have different scenarios that may be common to us, but not every hospital has. So we provide those back to STRAC, and they all then put those compiled together for a regional assessment of certain things. And if they're new additions, they bring those up in the STRAC meetings of some things that we may have certain to us that other hospitals have.
Proximity to railway that carries hazardous chemicals, some hospitals have to deal with that. That's all. So it's custom to us.
I always like to, what kind of ratings do we have in this area as far as risk for hurricane and tornado? It's pretty small.
I'd say we're in a medium risk level. We're more after effect. What they have is, you have a history. There is a history in this town of a tornado. So it has a local history, but is it high probability to know, just in the law of averages. But we have to have a plan in place for a tornado, then, protecting patients away from windows, getting them centrally based, things like that.
This coordination, is it with mainly rural hospitals or all hospitals in our area? San Antonio, big hospitals?
It's all hospitals. Part of that depending if we are if the event is happening here or is happening elsewhere, we're taking some of the rollover. And in San Antonio, we may get more rollover because we're out of town. Seguin, if it's in Seguin, we may get priority. More stuff will go into San Antonio than we get some of the ripple effects from it. Or if that region is shut down, they may redirect emergency ambulances that were not involved in the incident to that outer region as well.
Recent example was Sutherland Springs, the plan was put into place. We got patients, the rest went to San Antonio and some,
And you had the
I think
one,
San Antonio and here, right?
Yeah.
Mostly.
so that's an example of
and then we had that one locked out and you had the one person.
lockdown.
Yeah.
Okay. Here?
No, no, they, you brought here, then you took.
Oh,
Yeah, by the school, the gentleman that was shot by the school behind HEB.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty scary.
This plan was reviewed as recently as yesterday.
Yes.
And it was reviewed by the state, and suggestions were made, and
Yeah.
we'll share those with you, but for the most part, it's been recently reviewed and approved. so.
Does this plan require a vote?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Acceptance.
And I will need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the annual emergency disaster plan as presented by Brandon McDowell.
I have a motion from Allison Lambert. Second.
Is that okay?
Second by Larry Richardson, to approve the annual emergency disaster plan as presented. All in favor? Motion carried. Thank you, Brandon.